I don't know how to start. It's been a long time since I've sat down and filmed like a tag video, so I'm out of practice, and I sat down here and I was like, how do I start this? I've basically been filming vlogs and wrap-ups because that's basically what I like reading, but I figured not only since I've hit 100 subscribers, wow, I can't speak, of course, but as soon as I hit 100 subscribers, I was like, hey, maybe I should do another tag video, which is the small booktuber tag, which is what I am doing here today. I had written down these questions probably a year ago, filmed this, but I feel like it's more appropriate now. That, and I just didn't have another video for today that was ready because I am halfway through all of the books that I'm like currently reading, so there's no vlogs that are ready. There's no slot for anything else in there that I have time for, so tag video it is. Alright, the first part of this is to introduce yourself. So, hi, I am Darby Jasmine, that's what my YouTube is. No, Jasmine is not my last name. Yes, it is one of my middle names, but I use it for this stuff because it makes me feel safer. I am 25 years old. I have just finished my degree in business administration, so I'm very excited. I've been baking cookies for the last 6.5 years of my life, but I'm excited to try something new. It feels like a job interview, but that's basically what's going on in my life right now. How long have I been on Booktube for? I have been on since July 19th, 2019? It's been like 2.5 years. Almost 3 years. So I'm coming up to that point. I've been doing this kind of like on and off just because I've been in school, but I have been wanting to do YouTube for a really long time, which I think I said in a previous video a long time ago when I was first starting out. But this year in 2022 has been like the actual consistency, trying every week posting, doing my best, you know? The third question, what type of videos do you make? I mostly make booktube videos, vlogs, and wrap-ups. And I make vlogs because I like personally watching vlogs, putting them on in the background while I'm doing stuff during my day, because I can just listen to people, how their reading evolves while they're reading a book. I really like that, and how their feelings change while they're going through like a 500-page book. It could start off really amazing, go to crap, and then end amazing, or just something completely different. That's why I like vlogs, and that's why I like making vlogs. I also really like wrap-ups because when you're making a TBR, I know I have like 2 TBRs on my channel, that's it. That's all I need on there. But TBR videos are like, this is what I've heard about this book, this is the premise, but then you can't give your own feelings and thoughts because you haven't read it yet, and I don't particularly like watching TBRs for that specific, or even hauls. I like watching unhauls and wrap-ups because I want to know what you thought after you finished it. I think it's way more fun to be like, alright, I know everything in here, or I decided not to learn everything in there if you didn't finish it. I want to know why. I like those a lot better. So that's what I make. I also sometimes make witchy videos, but those are a lot of effort, and I only make them when I have enough time to. Number 4 is, what do you like most about Booktube? I have grown to love the community, which seems very weird, but I wasn't on Twitter for my Booktube when I first started, like the first year, I think it was. And now that I have been more active on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, I have made a lot more friends, and it is so fun to make book friends online and in real life, more so now, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable and so much more fun to have people to talk to, or to see your friends posting videos and making posts and doing all this stuff too, because it just like makes it more interactive to have this whole community of people to like help you out or just like support each other, and it's so fun that way. Question number 5 is, what type of books do you read? And I would normally answer this as like anything fantasy. Middle grade fantasy, YA fantasy, and adult fantasy are the main things that I gravitate towards. However, I think I'm gonna become a romance reader this summer because that's apparently what I want to read right now. I'm very much a mood reader. I don't know. I'm into the romance. Romance fantasy is like, adult romance fantasy is the peak of what everything I love, but I kind of want to read more contemporary romance. So who knows what's gonna happen. Question number 6 is, what is your favorite video that you've made? And I honestly have no idea. I can't remember off the top of my head. I love at the beginning of the year making a video of my reading plans for that year and showing off my bullet journal and stuff. Those videos are really fun to make. Almost all my witchy videos, like Witchcraft in the Sun, was so fun to make. Even though it was exhausting, I really loved it. I also really like the mid-year book freakout tag. Perfection. My reading 30 books in 30 days was super fun, and I'm very proud of that one. My entire TBR, that was not fun to make. It was a lot, and it was kind of embarrassing. I liked the Read A-a-thon vlog that I did over a year ago. It was like 2 years ago when I had pink hair. That one was really fun because I went to the lake. Purely. How I rate my books, that one was fun, changing them. The Reading Rush vlogs from 2 years ago, also really fun because I did witchy things almost like every day with those, and it was so fun. Ooh, this is back when I had my old camera. Oh my gosh, I have a lot more TBR videos than I actually thought I did. Honestly, my vlogs where I used to mix my witchcraft with my reading and do kind of both at the same time, which was Newt's readathon, I did that, and the Reading Rush readathon I had so much fun making those, and I think those were kind of my favorite, and I would like to do that again, but I've kind of adjusted my reading vlogs to be very different than they were back then, which is totally fine. Just kind of any vlog where I've put an activity that's been super fun, I have loved a lot. But I think my favorite ones are my reading goals for the year. So I did one for 2021 and I did one for 2022, and I think those are my favorite ones that I've made. That and reading 30 books in 30 days, which I do plan on doing again in June this year. Hopefully. That would be fun. If I have a job, I will. And that was the last question. There was only 6 questions. There is a 7th one to tag people to do the challenge, but nobody tagged me to do it. I don't even remember which video I got this from. I'm sure if you just search small Booktuber Tag, if I do it, I will figure out who created this, and I will leave them in the description, but right now it's not on the top of my head. If you also too just want to answer these questions, you can use me, and if you want to just share your answers to the questions in the comments also, that is totally fine. I feel like I should talk more because this really wasn't a whole lot of questions. How about we talk about my favorite books? I'm gonna go get them. Oh, don't judge me for this. Okay, so if you need anything for any prompts that you're like, somebody recommended this to me, or even that 12-month 12 books recommended by 12 friends challenge thing, if you want to still do that, you can take these books and use them. If you have something else, like somebody's favorite book, quite literally use any of these for anything that you need them. We're gonna start nowhere particular. I love all of these books equally. We're going with that. First up, Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I love this one. I gave it 5 stars. Probably the only mystery book that I genuinely love. Murder Mystery. My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This one is a fun retelling of, I don't remember the story, but it is a retelling, and most of the people in here are Ethians, which means they can transform into an animal, but it's the animal of their soul, so you never know what you're gonna get. Next up, we have Dreadnation by Justina Ireland. This is the Civil War in America, but it didn't end because people turned into zombies, and now they're just fighting zombies instead of each other. The main character is amazing. I love her to death, and there is bisexual romance in the second book of this one. Amazing. This one is going to be weird, but Muse of Nightmares by Lonnie Taylor. I absolutely adore this one. So the first one, this is the second one, Strange the Dreamer. It's very interesting to get into, but this book, honestly, it takes place over like 2 days and not even, and it is the most beautiful thing I think I've ever read in my entire life. The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is a bunch of poetry that tells a story, and I honestly cried when I read this one because it is too real, too many feelings I've had growing up. Had a lot of struggles, but beautiful. The next one I actually read for a novel study in school, and that is The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Juno Diaz. 10 out of 10 recommend this book. It was amazing. This family is cursed, and our main character Oscar is trying to get rid of said curse, while other people just don't believe him, but they go back 3 generations to see what happened when the curse was placed upon this family. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This one is a World War II story with a romance. There is a girl in France who is blind and a boy from Germany who is forced into the army because he is an orphan. And they eventually meet, and it is beautiful and amazing. This one is super fun too, and not a lot of people on Booktube know about this, but Unholy Night by Seth Grahame-Smith. This is the story of Jesus' birth, however told from the point of view of the wise men. Specifically one, I think his name is Balthazar, I haven't read this in a while, but the wise men are criminals and they stumbled into Jesus' birth accidentally, and it's very fun. Next up we have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is my favorite book of all time, and I recommend everybody to read this no matter what. I'm not going to tell you anything else, but you need to read this, okay? Get on it. This is my favorite horror book of all time, I think. It's not even horror, but like it was just so well done that I think it's amazing. The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis, and I need to read more of her stuff because this was so fun, and it looks so weird, but I promise it's like murder. Next up we have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Obviously everybody talks about this one. If you haven't read it yet, what are you doing? Made You Up by Francesca Zappia. This is crazy incredible girl who has, I can't remember what it's called, oh my gosh, schizophrenia, and she sees things that aren't really there, and there's this huge mystery that comes along with it, and it's just this crazy story. Oh my gosh, by the time you finish this you don't know what's real and what's not real, and I really do need to reread it because holy shit, mind-bending. Next up we have one of my favorite authors, and that is Margaret Atwood. This one is Alias Grace. I picked this one because there is a short limited series I think on Netflix right now, and if you don't want to read this chunky thing, because I can understand Margaret Atwood's writing is kind of hard to get into at first, you can watch the series and it is just as amazing. This one also mind-bending. Grace, she is in an insane asylum and she's there because she does not remember what happened to her employer while she was a maid, and they're all dead. She has no idea what happened. So she's insane. Some of these are like recent favorites that I've just read, including Crave by Tracy Wolff. This is shitty Twilight fanfiction on a good day, and it's so good. Most of you will not like this, but I love it. I love it so much. I don't have the words to describe. I need a telekinetic vampire boyfriend to fly me into the Northern Lights for a date. That sounds like the perfect date. Thank you. My favorite middle grade, one of my favorite middle grades. I have a favorite middle grade that isn't here. The Girl Who Drank the Moon. 10 out of 10 recommend. Amazing if you want a standalone. One of the best books I've ever read in my life. But another middle grade, Arusha and the End of Time by Roshni Chachki. Amazing. This series, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. If you're going to read one of the Rick Riordan Presents ones, read these ones, please. In my romance kick, Beach Read by Emily Henry. Oh my god, there were so many things I highlighted in here that I absolutely loved. And I think my highlights are turned on Goodreads, so you can go look at that. You can go see what I loved. I need to reread this immediately. This one might be controversial. I only gave this one 4 stars, but I'm counting it because it was recent and I loved it. And that is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. I need to read the second one to see how I'm actually going to feel, but this was incredible. It was amazing. I don't even care that it was Persephone and Hades retelling modern, just like everything about this was amazing. Another favorite series, A Natural History of Dragons. I did give the first 2 books 4 stars, but I think they deserve 5 stars now because, oh my gosh. This series is about our good friend Lady Trent, because it's a memoir, recounting her life and her adventures of studying dragons because she's a natural history scientist, I think. Yeah, she's a scientist. Anyways, and it's her battling a bunch of pig-headed men who don't think she's able to study dragons and trying to fund her own study of dragons while being super broke, and women just can't work and do stuff like that. And it's like, I just finished the series. I have the novella left. It blows my mind. Another series, From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you need this is just, I love it so much. The second book, kind of useless, but the fourth book, my favorite book in the whole series, because number one, polyamory. So good to finally have some in a book. Like, I cried. Two more. The Marrow Thieves by Sherry Demeline is post-apocalyptic, and it's set in Canada, and all the indigenous people are being hunted to be put back in residential schools. It is also set in the future, but they're trying to get the marrow, hence the Marrow Thieves, the bone marrow from them, because nobody in the world can dream without the bone marrow from indigenous people. And it is just the ending of this, it is so short and so tiny. The ending of this will make you cry happy tears. It is so good. There is a sequel. If you think this is amazing and fantastic, the sequel is okay. But this, top tier. And finally, we have She Who Became the Sun by Shelly Parker Chan. This was my favorite book last year. I can't even describe to you how much I love this, but magic, ghosts, somebody taking your own destiny in your hands and changing it. Just amazing. So, those are all the books that I have to tell you are my favorite. Thank you for coming to my small Booktuber Tag, plus some of my favorite books. There are definitely more than what's on this list, but this is all that I could grab right now. All that I wanted to grab right now, obviously. But if you ever need a book recommendation, take any of these. If you have read all of these and you need more, I can give you more. That's what I'm here for. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it was successful enough for this week. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye!